Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks. Nice to have you. It's episode 198. I had to just check what is then. Apparently, it's April Fool's Day. I won't be doing any April Fool's Day jokes this myself on the stream, but there may be some April Fool's Day jokes unrelated to me that come through, and we'll talk about those. So just so you know, there's nothing from me, so legal disclaimer, just in case one of the big music manufacturers wants to sue me. Nothing came from this studio. I'm like a little scared duck today. Right, we're going to say hello to everybody, and I think what I might do is, at the moment there's only a couple of people in, so I might just go to this graphic here and I'll bring you guys in manually. So at the moment no one's there. That's okay, don't worry, don't panic. Hey, don't panic. Now, which one's that? That's that one there. I think I'll put Darren there when I can find him. He's there. There's Darren, yay. And I think this one here I'll put we'll put Ian there. Ian can go there. There's Ian.
Manually done.
And then that one can be, I think Andy Synth Addict will come eventually. So we'll put him there. And the last one, which I think is there, I'll put the chatties. Maybe I should put myself. I probably should put me. Yeah, I'll go down the bottom.
You're going to spiral. That's different, isn't it? You're going to spiral in from the middle.
Yeah. What we'll do is actually, we'll keep an eye for Andy to come in, and we'll put the chatties in just for a couple of minutes while, because they're important. There we go. Look at that. Chatties are in. Yay. Yeah. So today's show is going to be about VCAs, and I wrote mixers on there. When I say mixers, I mean VCA mixers, not these massive, huge desk mixers that we're talking about. So when you see a mixer in a synth, that's what we're talking about, in the mixing section of the synth, because that is related to VCAs very, very closely in a lot of sense. So we thought I'll sort of chuck that in as well. I'm just looking at my mini log here, and it looks like one of the knobs is a little sort of wonky, like it's a little, maybe I've knocked it. It still works though. I think. I don't know. Who knows? I'm upset if it's broken. Okay. So what are we going to do first? We'll say hello to Darren. How's your week been, Darren?
G'day. Been busy. We've switched to different times at work now. It's summer, so yeah. Other than that, not a great deal, to be honest. Just finishing bits off for the album, but nothing to report. It's been wet, cold, then warm, and now wet and cold again. So
you're spring,
weather-wise,
aren't you? You're spring now.
Yeah, we're spring. Yes.
Okay. So I'm just kind of thinking, at the moment our seasons are kind of similar because it's wet, cold, and weird here today. So yeah.
Well, I think it's about the same time that, yeah, this is about the only time of the year when we're pretty close on weather-wise. But yeah, it's been sort of, we've had a couple of decent days and then we've had a couple of miserable days. So other than that, I haven't done a great deal, I can say. Lots to do, but not done much. Still tweaking away at the album, so
that's allowed. You're allowed to not do much. I mean, sometimes we need that downtime, don't we? You don't have to always do stuff.
Well, the funny thing is, I don't know that I've had downtime. It's just that I don't seem to have done much.
Yeah. You've just you've plotted along, and then all of a sudden time has elapsed.
Yeah, and
I love those periods of your life.
I've done anything.
You just think, did I just waste like 2 months of my life and I can't even remember what the hell I did?
Yeah, that's what it's sort of been this week.
I think it's called being 50
as well.
Beautiful. Ian, big hello to you. How's your week,
yes,
man?
Sir. Hi, guys. Hi everybody in the chat room. What sort of week have I had? I've had a really busy week, actually, mainly with Sinners Music, the record label.
Yay.
Which, as I said right at the beginning of the year, I really wanted to spend more time working on that and doing on that. And one of the things I have done is I've become a shareholder in a Danish music distribution company, which sounds really grand, but it's not really. what it means is that we can offer the people that we're working with. I say the word signed, but actually I don't do signed in that sense. You know, it's a relationship completely based on trust. So, you know, I don't sign anybody to the label. You know, we just work together. So this little Danish distribution company, I've become a shareholder so that I can actually distribute other artists' work at a very reasonable price. So we're looking at sort of £8 UK per album, or EP, or single. And I'm still working out the finer details of all that sort of stuff. So I spent quite a bit of time sorting that out at the early part of the week. Andy and Grace are going to be working with me on it. I've started mastering Dave Walker Mo's album. And then I had a really frustrating day yesterday talking to I sent a vintage microphone to France, and this is the Brexit effect really. So this is a £350 microphone. We sent it to this guy in France, and UK customs passed it fine, gets to French customs, and it sat there and sat there and sat there, and they've sent it back. Now they've sent it back because he used on his address. He had a C/O, not for company, but for care of somebody else. The French customs have seen that as a company, and we're saying we've said to them it's not a company. He said to him it's not a company. He's a resident, you know. So and now the shipping company won't ship it. So we're down £30 worth of money for shipping it, and I'm going to have to give the guy his money back. So that was a bit of a downer, you know. But apart from that, the week's been really busy, but really, really quite good, really. You know?
Well, you can't chuck it in you can't chuck it in a DHL box or something like that. I know they're a bit pricey, but so you still get the sale to go through.
We basically he didn't pay for any of the shipping, so we paid for all the shipping. Right. So we're down £30 already. It's going to cost at least, because we obviously insured it for the full amount. It would cost another £30-40 to ship it with anybody else, and I think we're just going to have to give up on it really, and give him his money back, which is a shame. We'll sell it. We'll sell it. It's a 1960s sort of Beatle microphone. It's quite rare. With a proper stand and all that. I have had that decades. So, we were before the show, we were talking about things that sit around. I've had that protected for the last 20 years, using it very, very infrequently. It does work. It works fine. I just tested it all before I put it up for sale. So that was, like I say, that was a bit of a really frustrating chatbot conversation with the shipper, because you don't get to really speak to a real person.
I hate those things.
We had all of that sort of business going on. I was on the computer for like 2 hours yesterday afternoon trying to get them to understand what the customer had said and what I'd said.
Chatting to someone through a web page, it's the worst thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And the only other thing is the audiophile radio show went live this morning.
Awesome.
And that is based. It's all the back in November. I played one of the EMOMs in York, and they've put it out as an album. So we've played certain tracks from the album, but it's like an EMOM takeover.
Nice.
So
awesome. Brilliant.
So a busy week, but really good fun.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Now, a couple of people have joined us via StreamYard, and you guys can do that too if you're watching. There's a link in the chat room, and I've just pasted it again. Here it is. Here is the link. Bang. We'll start with Chris. Big hello to you, Chris. You're muted at the moment, so unmute yourself. There we go.
There you go. I am unmuted. Hey, everyone. I had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. And
happy birthday for a couple of weeks ago.
Thank you very much.
You kept that quiet.
And it was during your week off, so I was meant to be on going to go onto Henrik's show, but I had the dinner party that day, so
so that was last weekend.
It kicked off quite a while. Yeah, so it was last weekend, and alcohol was drunk and was not in a fit state. But anyway,
I reckon that would have been good.
Anyway,
having you on in non-fit
no,
state.
that was pretty good. And the thing that was really cool about it, and this is synth related, is that all of my presents, nearly all of my presents, were synth related.
Ooh, isn't that
I
nice?
love my family. Yes, I've got a very nice family. They gave me they gave me things that I asked for, like laptop stands, and they got me this thing. So now
Is that the Rode one?
I can join you guys with it's just a cheapish mid-price one.
It doesn't matter. It's still
It just works. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not the one with that looks like it's just one of those lamps from from the Pixar animation. Yeah. So I got that. So now I'm a bit more set up for streaming, and it's all a bit more convenient. And I can also do other recording for silly, stupid videos that I make. And the other thing they got me were vouchers for music stores. So that worked out.
That's
rather
awesome.
well. That's pretty cool.
It is. Did you have a fairly substantial birthday? Did you, or was it just any normal?
Well, yeah, I'm 51 years old now.
Yay!
So, yay! So I'm now in the second half of the century.
Together.
So no, I really would have qualified to go on the seniors live stream show.
Yeah.
So that was sad I missed it, Henry. But, so maybe next time. Yeah. So apart from that, I got some more progress on my Lich kick drum module. Kick drum program. That's starting to kick off a bit now. You can probably hear that. And the GP82. Yeah. The GP82 got another algorithm done with variable step time using the 182 sequencer, but giving it variable step lengths, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And more programs on the way, so that's coming good. And I may have used my voucher, and it is obviously happy birthday to me because I just bought a Model D, a Behringer one.
Oh, you got the Model D. Good on you.
I did get the Model D. Yeah, I'm not entitled. Yes, I know. Now I can join the party. We can all twiddle the same knobs at the same time.
Is it a keyboard?
No, it's one of. No, it's just the module.
Just the module one. That's what I've got.
Yeah, exactly what you've got. Yeah,
Yeah.
and what
And what I've got,
Rant says. Yeah, you would have got good as well. Yeah, just something about it really. It's one of those things where I had one of those memories. You know, when you have a kind of nostalgic memory and you think, I remember playing around with the Model D VSTs, the really early ones. And of course, that was when I really, really kind of got synthesis. And you don't forget those kind of things. And I just, for some reason, I had that memory. And then when I saw the Behringer prices dropping a bit, I thought, you know what? I've got some kind of hankering for this in, and I can't quite work out how to scratch that itch without actually spending money. So that's in about what it is. But at least my family helped pay for it, so I thought that was kind of appropriate. So a Model D should be coming next week, hopefully. And yes, not the most exciting synth in the world, I know, and it's quite old, but still one of the things you should have, I reckn.
It's always exciting if you haven't got it and it's coming for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's new synths, always good to have new synths. Anyway, that's pretty much for me. I won't take up any more time.
No, you're completely fine. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Henrik over and make him go there. Hello, Mr. Senior Synth Man.
Yeah.
Had to do that. How's your week been?
Yeah, of course. It's been fine. You can hear me? Because
Yes.
I'm trying another mic. Okay, good.
It's quietish though.
It's quietish.
Quiet.
Does that mean quiet?
Yeah. What do you guys think? It's a bit quiet, isn't he?
Just a little.
Background noise as well
little
is
bit, yeah.
quite high, so I think he's
Yeah,
just.
it's a
That might be
Zoom
my
mic.
end, the background noise. Let me mute myself.
I can put it back to the cam
Unmute.
mic. It's yeah.
That sounds a bit better, actually.
Okay, I can go
Already.
closer.
Closer is always best, I reckon, Henry.
Yeah, I
Get
know,
intimate with
but
your microphone.
then you can see everything.
Be intimate with
Caress
your
the
I'm not
microphone.
shaped. Okay.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Well, the connection is a little bad, so I can't lift it up and speak into it. So then it loses connection. It's a Zoom, like Rob Vincent's.
Yep.
I wanted to try it, but it's very weak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll change.
It sounds
the
nice,
microphone
though.
a little later.
I can hear you.
Yes,
I
it's
can hear
very-
you.
But I'm close
Nice.
to it. I'm very close to it now.
The thing is,
Nice
it
fidelity.
sounds nice. It's just like you said. It's just weak. So maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. Get yourself a phantom powered one
I'll
if you can.
see if I can.
It's got a nice tone,
raise it a
doesn't it?
little bit.
The Zoom mics are
Quite
always
nice
nice. I think anyway.
It-
I've made
it is
plenty
at
of
max
recordings with
level.
them. So I was
yeah.
just going to say, Henrik, thanks very much for doing the show on your channel again, whilst I was away. Impossible for me to do the show last week because I was working. There's going to be probably a few more opportunities for you in the next couple of months, and I'll let you know in advance so you can actually plan them a little bit better. Where
I
I'm
like
just
doing
not
it.
able to do Saturday nights because of things, family things. So that's good. Awesome. And any other things you want to add?
Yeah. After I had Robin Vincent on, my viewer count, both viewer count and subscribers exploded. So
Cool.
being at 30 subscribers, I'm now at 92. So
Wow, let's
that's
party.
Incredible.
Yeah, you're doing
yeah,
well,
yeah.
mate. What a legend you are. Hey,
Oh,
you'll be up
yes,
there
oh,
with,
yes. Yeah. Soon I
$1 million.
I have to make space on the wall for a sign.
Yeah. Yeah. The YouTube button. The YouTube button is
Yeah.
coming your way, Henrik.
yeah.
I think the first one YouTube sent you was the one made out of like a sponge, like a cake.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope that's true.
That's horrible. That is just horrible.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. We might be able to see if we can put the StreamYard guys in the bottom left-hand corner here. Where are we? Live chatties. There we go. No, not that one. That one. And then this one. There you go. Oh, we got another one.
Hey.
Let's find out who it is. Who's knocking at the door in StreamYard? It is Mr. Henry.
Hello.
Oh.
Hey.
There we go.
Anyway,
Oh, Kent.
G'day, Ken.
Hi,
Let's bring
Ken.
Kent full screen.
Say hi.
hello.
Oh,
Hello.
could
Help.
could you come over?
Why does
and
it say
come
help? What do you need help for?
Oh, mate, I'm in my front room, right? Okay, let me. This is my life, right? Ready? Oh, the computer.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, I know that pain.
Juno 60. What else we got? Juno 60 with a thingy. This the CR78. Four
Oh,
voice.
nice. What's wrong with the Juno 60? Voices? Is it voices?
On the 60.
Yeah.
No, it just needs a service apparently.
Okay.
This thing is a bag of cats. I don't know whether we'll ever get that working. CS60,
Oh, it's just
Down
lost a
there.
hamster. That's all.
CS80 here, DWA8000 over here, memory mode
Oh,
over here.
DW8000, one of my favourite synths.
Yeah, mine
JX.
too.
You know. And this is just my front room.
Hey.
And then my cat is there. So I've got this like woman thing cluttering up my kitchen. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Fiona.
I
We
feel
got an RA mini Moog down here.
That one's in good nick. That's doing well.
Another mini.
That's
More
going to
big
be on the
nose.
show.
Mm.
It's my house
You should
is
put that on
there.
eBay so it's in good nick, Ken.
Oh,
Yeah. No lowball offers.
what's that one down
I
there?
know what I got.
What is that? Oh God.
It's a flight case.
Yeah. Yeah, there's about 4 RA minis, a couple of Musonics, and a few normal ones. And it's like,
You can always send them to Australia.
yeah, well, good, but
You're busy.
so how's everybody doing? You all right? You all cool?
We're
good.
awesome, mate. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
And it's
Good,
nice
good,
to
good.
see you, Tim.
Ken.
It's nice to see you.
Yeah.
I thought, while I've got you, Kent, I thought I'd mention to you that Mr. Tom from Synth Anatomy has been up to shenanigans, and I thought this one would be right up your alley, where he's decided to do, I'm pretty sure it's an April Fool's Day joke. Let's have a look at what he's done anyway. So over here. So the Behringer Timber Bear, the $99 desktop Akai Timberwolf clone development update, and here, there it is. The Timber Bear has resurfaced. It's resurfaced. It is April Fool's Day, by the way. Just so everyone, just to
It's awesome.
sorry to put a little downer on it, but yeah. Go check that out on Synth Anatomy. Synth Anatomy is a great website. If you've never heard of it, synthanatomy.com, and if you ever wonder who actually runs it, have a look at the logo. He just loves himself. He's got his own friggin' name in his logo. Hey?
Can you minimize Kent?
Yeah, I've
Can
never
you minimize
noticed that
Kent
before.
so we can see the stream on StreamYard?
Oh, okay. There we go. There. For people
Yeah.
on StreamYard.
Thanks.
There.
We could
For the
only see
whingers on StreamYard.
Yeah, it's where we gather.
Press this button. Press that button.
I'll just scroll it in one more time just for Kent, because I don't think he saw it. So there is a picture of the Timber. There it is there. The desktop version, Timber. Yeah, anyway, good on you, Tom. I love the joke. Got a little chuckle out of me, that's for sure. So, well done. So there's a few, these will be coming through, I think, thick and fast on today's show. Like I said, nothing's coming from me. So, yeah. And Andy's joined us. Hello, Andy. Gosh, we're going to have to bring the 6 up now. Hey, there he is. Boosh. And we'll put the StreamYardies in the bottom
Hey,
there.
buddy.
I
I
think.
had to sleep a little bit.
Hi, Andy.
You needed to sleep.
How you doing?
Hi, Andy.
Let's
Just
go to
a little
Andy.
bit, yeah. Just a little bit. It's been a long week, so
It has
I
been a
catch
long
few
week.
Z's, about 2.5 hours, but better than nothing. So that's why I have bedhead. So
You have bedhead? I don't even want to ask
do.
what
If I
that
took
is.
the headphones off, you see it go
Red hair.
Oh, bed hair. I was gonna say something
yeah.
else.
bedhead. Yeah.
Helmet hair. It's helmet hair. isn't
Hair's
it?
kind of like Gumby, where it goes off to the side. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
Well, I don't have that problem. I just keep my hair cut short. Then I have any.
Well, I'm overdue for.
problems.
I like a short haircut normally. I'm about ready to cut it off again. So it's.
Oh,
put a cap on my head.
I usually wake up with a tube head. I use a sleeping machine to breathe, CPAP machine.
Oh, yeah.
And those tubes, I just have marks in my face and on my head.
Yeah. Do they work though? Do they actually work?
Yeah, I sleep incredible good.
Okay.
It made wonders when I got it. I can go to sleep and I sleep within 15 minutes. I don't lie around awake all night. I just sleep. It's great.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Yeah,
Good
my
to
dad
hear.
would probably
Now-
be dead if he didn't have CPAP. So.
Now back to Andy, because we were saying hello to Andy, and it is his time. Now you've been a bit of a YouTube slut this week, haven't you?
Yeah, we all have our moments, right? So I sorry to expose everyone to my mug. So it's just the way it goes.
Yeah. No, we saw you on the whatchamacallit show, the Throughport Collective. Is that the one it's called? Throughport Collective.
Yeah, Throughport Collective. Yeah,
Yep.
It was a controllers show. It was a lot of fun actually. We're gonna do a part 2 because it was. I guess I just put a dent in it and people liked it, so we're gonna do another one soon. I think. So.
And just while we're talking about Throughport Collective, I just wanted to give a shout out to Chris, who's been a little bit unwell lately. So Big hello to you, mate. Hopefully you get better soon. I do believe he's on the mend, though, isn't he? From what I hear.
Yeah, it was just I think it's kind of neck surgery or something like that. So it wasn't like I don't think it was anything really super serious.
Nah,
but
not
just
super bad.
Never good.
Nah.
Never good to go into the knife or anything. But,
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right, we should get stuck into the show, but before we do, we should probably say hello to the chatties, and I forgot to do that. So we're going to just do a real quick wrap through of the chatties. I'll start with Keith in Watford. Big hello to you, mate. Nice to see you. One of our channel members, of course. Always good to acknowledge that. And then there's Lady Aptitude. Hello there. Universal Vibe. We also have lots of people who have just popped in. Brett Lemmings is there. Kosh Dukai is there. Awesome. JP Page 2. Who's that Spong fella that keeps typing in the chat there? Jeez,
I don't know. He's an idiot. I'd kick him out, man.
Homegrown's there. And I think I saw Robbie Puricelli. Big hello to you. I saw Culture of Ghosts. Big hello, Matt Brown. ASIO Head. Wagoo, of course. QRDNK. And quite a lot of others. I do apologise. I think Manny was in there too. So that's awesome to see all of you. Now, just quickly before we get stuck into the rest of the show, a bit of apology from me because we don't adhere to daylight savings in my part of the world. And you can, if you don't believe me, you can ask Chris, because Chris lives in the same city as me. So if everyone's confused about the time, the YouTube published time that I put on the video should always be what you stick to. So if it said 2 p.m. UK time, unfortunately, yes, it means it's an hour later. Maybe that happened during the week I had off, but anyway, it we'll make it 2 p.m. now from now onwards, and until the next daylight savings change. Is that okay with you guys? It's bad luck.
Yeah.
Right, this button. Hey, I promise it's a good one this week. Yes. You'll own nothing and be happy with waves.
There you go.
This week has been, I tell you what, trying to stay away from synth stuff this week is impossible. Anyway, it did progress. So then we got into, we got the cameras into the Waves headquarters, and this is what happened.
I was like that one.
It probably wasn't today's news. It was probably like 2 days or 3 days ago's news, but that's okay. So if you're wondering what this means, it's like after they've announced that they're going to go to the subscription-based model, which they actually did a few years back, and it was about as popular as a fart in an elevator. They thought it was fine in their headquarters whilst the whole place was flaming, but then a couple of days later, they'd managed to do one of these, a massive backflip, and decided at Waves, we do backflips every single day of the week. They've decided that they're not going to do perpetual licensing anymore. Holy crap. I mean, if you worked at Waves right now, you'd probably be doing backflips on your chair to work out whether you've got a job. Anyway, let's move along. Speaking of Waves, there's a few waveforms. And if you ever wondered how they sounded, here's a few pointers for you. I didn't write this. Someone thinks they sound like that. Anyone want to have a crack at making those sounds? All right, Darren, the sine wave, go.
It's all right. That was. I didn't realise I was on mute. Good job you didn't hear it, isn't it?
Silent wave.
I was just going. Oh, it's not. And I went, wait a minute, it's not.
Now, Kent, this is the scientific thing that you should be judging all your synth repairs from, by the way.
Yes, that's why my music sounds so bad. If I go off that.
It should be ooh, ah, zzz.
Yeah.
Good it's not FM, then it would be some throat singing.
A company that starts with B likes to put their letters everywhere, don't they? Right, okay. What about this one from JX3D? Actually, I don't know if he did it, but he actually put it in the Discord. Music producers who are unsatisfied with the mix are in that colour, and in red, they're also unsatisfied with the mix, but I just wanted to show what it looked like in red. So basically, everyone's unsatisfied with the mix. If you haven't worked that out.
Natural.
And when people see my synth collection here, and they think I'm rich, bro, I'm just irresponsible.
Well, that's a true one.
Yeah.
Which is why I have to pay a big bill back. Hello. Favorite meme of the week, people? Are we looking at waves, backflips, irresponsibilities?
Waves. It's got to be waves, surely.
Yeah, waves.
The first one made us laugh. So
First one?
Yeah. Yours ones.
First one was good, wasn't it? Wasn't mine, unfortunately.
Oh, wasn't it? I thought it was.
No. See? You'll never know. So, we're going with waves here, mainly. Someone saying irresponsible? I think Wagoo likes the waveform. Just a bit of a hint there from Wagoo.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Wagoo's probably got the Eurorack module that makes that sound.
the Hubbard.
Yeah. I think the Waves has got it this week. I mean, jeez. What did you guys think of that news? I mean, you know, when you first hear it.
What a cock up. I mean, I'm an ex Waves user, really. I stopped using Waves when they wanted me to buy it all again. So I was a big fan of the sort of one knobs. There you go, Darren. And I really liked the some of the vocal plugins. The Renaissance was one of them, I think.
Yeah.
And I for quite a long time I was a fan, but then when they moved from 32 to 64-bit, they wanted me to buy it all again, and I'm not doing that really. So I pretty much stopped using them then. I have an old computer next door which I think has still got some of the 32-bit plugins on if I need to go back and look at an old project, but I've moved on, and clearly this means I have no intention of going back. You know. So I thought it was what a massive own goal. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. The gymnastic department at that company is doing overtime at the moment. I just thought the StreamYard guys would probably want to cook into this as well. Anyone from the StreamYard side want to make a comment about the Waves decision this week?
Not in public, no.
I've been there
on the
before.
monetary channel, no.
The subscription model thing, I've been there before.
I
Hated
would.
This was subscription model. All that, yeah. God. It happens. It does happen. You know, you're locked away in your glass room and you come up with a brilliant idea. And then you unleash it on reality, and reality kicks you in the testicles.
I mean, yeah, Excel spreadsheets don't always tell you the truth, do they, when you're trying to work out how many millions you want to make?
Mind you, it's hard to concentrate. I've got two hot girls in my lap.
Yeah.
By the way, this is love. This is love. This is smoked salmon bagel on the table.
Oh, okay. Yep. My dog does
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't ever go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and have dogs.
You worked that, yeah.
So the subscription-based software model, we've had this discussion a million times over and over again. I really don't think anybody likes it except for the companies that actually own a company that has a subscription-based model. They'll probably like it.
Yeah.
But I could
They win every
pretty much
time.
guarantee-
That's the thing. Yeah.
It's a bit like the casino, right? The house always wins. It's a bit like that model.
Is a subscription model one of those things, though, where it's really for the young? Because we come from a generation of people who would buy something and it became theirs, and you know that was fine. You just pay your money and thank you very much, and I'll keep that. And subscriptions always sat weird with me. I don't know. I'm just an old curmudgeon.
I'm probably the same, mate.
I'm with you. I don't like subscriptions. I like to save up. I like to save up, buy that product. It's mine. I might not want to use it again, but it doesn't matter because I've bought it. Whereas a subscription, it's just like you're just constantly paying out every month. I might not use it for the month, and I know they say, "Well, you don't need to pay it for that month. Unsubscribe, and then just start a subscription." No, I want to save up for something I want to buy because I've saved up my hard-earned money. I'll buy it and then I'll decide whenever I want to use it, not have to keep having a running a constant subscription. If you have subscriptions for everything you used, I mean, God, no one would be able to pay the bills every month, would you?
Yeah.
That's why you save up, but you can't with a subscription. You can't save up to buy anything, can you? You just are constantly drained.
And you also need
that's my
to
little bit of rant over.
And it's also like the streaming services, Netflix and Disney and all those. You have to have all of them, and then it's very, very expensive. So you begin to say, I don't need that one. I don't need that one. And, I think they should make something together instead of all this.
Don't get me started on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with subscriptions, isn't it? The more subscriptions that start to come out, it gets watered down to a point where no one can be even bothered to subscribe to anything to pay for anything.
Yeah,
because they just get fed up.
I think someone should make deals with the different companies to make a subscription plan where people can choose what to subscribe to, and not to subscribe to everything from one producer, one company. It would be much smarter. It could be more expensive or cost a little more than the other services. Not together, but as a few of the others.
Make one that you can tap into more.
It would be a huge success. Yeah.
I believe someone's attempted to do it, but the companies don't want to play with each other. That's the problem.
That's the thing.
Yep.
They're still looking for the dollars. They still think they're going to get their slice of the market. They're going to get their Netflix type product and get the same success that Netflix did, even though that's now impossible. They still think that. So, I know I'm sick of too many subscriptions. Yeah.
I'm
used to from Creative Cloud.
I might even let it pass if you could actually you could either pay a subscription for it or you could buy it outright. I could probably let that go, but you can either buy it outright or you can, if you want to be pay a subscription.
So Roland Cloud did that, didn't they?
Subscription.
The thing that annoys me about Roland Cloud is every time if you haven't used it for a couple of weeks, every time you log in to a Roland Cloud, it asks you to log into their stupid Roland Cloud thing, and you can't use the software synth unless you've authenticated. And I'm like, but I've paid you guys. Why do I have to keep authenticating? It's an absolute pain. And sometimes the authenticating doesn't work because their software is not the best.
Server timeout or HTTP error or something.
Adobe Creative Cloud had issues all along, but it's what they have, so you have to work with it.
You have to work with it, exactly. Yeah.
The only subscription I actually do
20 years did it. So
I'm not 100% sure, but I think Steinberg has a solution to their new subscription mode, or what is it called? Licensing mode, where you have online licenses. If it doesn't connect, then it will work for a period of time, and within that time you have to, of course, connect.
That's okay.
So I think there are solutions for other companies. If they don't have it yet, they should.
Well, they definitely need to be doing that. Roland, listen. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's everywhere. Subscription. We talked about pay TV and all that sort of stuff. Even I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, BMW were threatening to charge us per month if we wanted to have heated seats as an added option in our cars. Do you guys remember that? Well, it's true. It's actually true. I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's true. Yeah. And I think Robbie Puricelli sort of jumped in on that, saying that Mercedes, BMW, Volvo are starting a subscription service. So you won't end up owning your car in the future, I don't think.
No.
And that could be a good thing to some people, like businesses especially, because they can just claim the whole thing on tax, right?
Well, did you hear about this thing that Ford did in the States, where they applied for a patent about 2 years ago to be able to, if you lease hire your car, if you missed payments for, it was the 30, 60, 90-day package. And what happens is if you didn't pay your lease for 30 days, they turn off your radio and stop your electric windows from working. If you don't pay up for 60 days, they lock the car.
No safety issues there at all.
And you can't get in it. But the car will only lock if there's enough power, because, you know, this is for these smart electric cars. Because on the night after 90 days, the car starts up and drives away and goes back to the dealership.
It was inevitable, wasn't it, Kent? It was inevitable.
Yeah.
That we would just end up being the poor little man.
Yeah.
That has to put up.
I do like the Bandcamp subscription model that they've brought out in the last few months. Because I've subscribed to a couple. I've subscribed to Battery Operated Orchestra, and I've also subscribed to Peter Gabriel. So for £3 a month, you know, you can get extra material, extra songs or extra albums or that. I mean, and it's more against the sort of Patreon model, I think. But actually, you know, it doesn't stop you buying an album from somebody. But actually, I do like that. You know, that's that sort of model. It's not the, you know, it's not the usual sort of model we're talking about with software. But it is quite nice to support the artist and get a few, you know, some extra material or some extra songs, or, you know, like Peter Gabriel keeps dropping a new song every so often, or a remix of a song, and that sort of thing, which is actually quite nice, you know.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, Spotify and Apple Music are subscription models too. So
they are.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And like it or lump it, I mean, Waves probably are within their rights to do what they did. The backflip was interesting. I just thought that was just really interesting. I don't know if that was. Look, they've got. It's a great marketing ploy if that's what they intended. They've got us talking about them, and that may be all they needed. So, you know, they do make, or not make, they do, what would you say? It's not really make. They collaborate a whole bunch of plugins. So it's a pretty decent library that they've got there. I'm probably like most of you guys, I don't know if I'd use them. There is plenty there, just not really, I don't think there's many that I actually have here that I would even say go and get because it's great. I can't think of one at the moment, but I'm sure that people in different parts of the music industry would use them for some good reason. Okay, can you tell I'm not actually sponsored by those?
There's a lot of good plugins, but I think they are getting old. It's like they are from like they're 10 years old, 5 or 10 years old. It's true. It doesn't look modern anymore. So
yep.
I sometimes compare them to Plugin Alliance. It's just much more modern, and I like Plugin Alliance more.
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff from them too, Henrik.
Yeah, Plugin Alliance.
Yeah, I switched pretty much to them. I used to use the Waves L2 limiter heaps, but now I don't use that anymore. I just use the BX limiter, or the BXXL, I think it's called.
BX is also in their package.
Yeah, BX.
There's always something else, isn't there? You don't have to use Waves for anything. There is always something else out there.
Yeah, there is.
I think Kent was right, actually. I think the more I think about it, I think Kent was right when he said it must be more for the younger generation because they're growing up and knowing everything just being a subscription, whether it's from TV to anything. Whereas we've known it as we've been able to buy things. Now I bet they don't even know you can buy things.
They're accepting
everything's
they?
Just subscribed to. Yeah, they'll just just have to pay a subscrition for this. Whereas
we're probably getting
all
grumpy old men now, aren't we? Hey, by the younger
we're all getting on.
Yeah. If we hang on to our old plugins, eventually they'll be classed as vintage plugins, and we'll be able to sell them for a fortune.
Yeah.
I wish the market worked that way.
If only they knew what you could do with a hex editor. I am going to.
The funny thing is, on the Throughport Collective show, I was saying I had bought the Big Wave Suite, I don't know, a year or two ago when it was on special sale, because I always liked Yoad Nevo's stuff. I mean, he makes really good things for Waves, but I still haven't fired it up, and it's been like 2 years.
Fair
I
enough.
know. Yeah.
Oh, you hate it when you buy something and you just don't use it and you think, why the hell would I just buy that? Something trapped me. Something entrapped me. We didn't roll the
My
stinger
own
for
personal
news.
honey-do list.
We probably should roll the stinger for news because we do have news. And that was the first item. But I think we should...
Yeah,
we do need to move on, guys. We can talk about waves a bit later on if we have time, okay? But we do need to get on to the rest of the show.
Yeah, but I would like to test my audio because I found an option here. Is it better here 1 2 3 4 or here 1 2 3 4?
I'd say the first better one was better.
Okay, but this is in the normal distance, so perhaps.
Yeah, but you got more background noise than that, and you're quite loud.
Okay, I'll put it here.
Yeah, that's good.
1 2 3 4. Okay.
All right, can we talk about this, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, Keiko Gorgone. I really don't know how to say this.
Gorgon.
This is where we need Brooksy back because he's our resident linguist.
I think you find it's Gorgon.
Gorgon or Gorg
Gorgon.
One, George One.
Is it not based from Methuselah and Gorgon?
Akaiko?
That sort of thing.
Akaiko? I always get this stuff wrong. Eh? Anyway, let's not get stuck on pronunciation because I will fail every single time, guaranteed. This is actually pretty interesting. This is a eurorack module, if you haven't worked that out, that's hit the streets very, very recently, and it's got a pool of analog effects. It's got VCF, distortion, and delay in one module, and there's a little video. So why don't we watch a little video? I actually haven't seen this video, and it goes for 10 minutes, so I'm not going to play the whole thing, but let's watch anyway. So we hit this button here and press play. Muted. First thoughts. I think the video is basically about the rest of all the little features in it. So, but the first thoughts I got from watching that was that I thought it was a little bit like a Moogfoga in its kind of construction. Where I don't know if you guys have owned Moogfogas before, but they aren't just a one-trick pony effects pedal. They usually have something else with it. It might be an envelope follower. It might be a filter, it might be a distortion circuit or something like that. And this, you probably would have noticed that it's probably the delay is the sort of the most important part of that effects. But then he had the distortion circuit and the filter circuit, and they were all affecting the delay, which I thought was actually pretty clever. And it kind of does have that sort of Moogfoga sort of feel to it. Anyway, thoughts on the Gorgon, I don't know. Stop it, Rant. Just whatever. That
Gorgon.
thing.
Go on there.
I'm going to go with you, Chris, because I know you like this sort of stuff.
Go on there.
Go on there.
It's a Gorgone. It's obviously the Gorgone. Yeah. Interesting thing about that. It made me think of the reissue, Behringer reissue of the 100 System 100 series.
Yeah.
The way the System 100 philosophy have had quite a few kind of different effects kind of combined into one module. They did it as a philosophy. I'm sort of feeling as this is kind of, on that legacy a little bit. Sort of they picked it up and said, oh, well, why don't we do modules like in that way, where we put things together that everyone normally buys individual modules of, but by putting them together, we can maybe make them a bit more interesting than just their individual components. Because everyone goes, oh, it's like hundreds of different filters or something, and you go, oh, do I need another filter? I don't know. But if you put something together in such a way that you can go, okay, well, if that goes into this and that goes into that, then that happens and this goes into that. And I don't think I would have found that just out of the box. So maybe I could use something like that. So it's intriguing from the I like that whole philosophy of sort of trying to put a few things together to make something a bit more interesting than the plain vanilla.
Yeah,
fair enough.
And at first, I could never say, do I need another filter? I always need another filter.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And second, I think this is Akai Co. And this is not the MPC one, but the GARC one.
He's doing the jokes, everyone. The VCF is 12 I'm just going to read this so you guys can find out a little bit more info. The VCF is 12 dB per octave, resonating multi-mode filter with a low pass, band pass, high pass. It has a range from 160 Hz up to 12 kilohertz. So it doesn't do below the hearing. I don't know why they don't do that. Anyway, self-oscillation is possible. The distortion is based on an MXR pedal, which is the M104 distortion. So that's probably why we recognize that sound. I thought it did sound familiar. I do like the sound of that MXR pedal, by the way. It's very, very popular with guitarists, obviously, but synths as well. The delay section is a bucket brigade delay, but it is a digital / analog hybrid reproducing sort of thing. So it probably doesn't behave as well as a true BBD would. So don't get disappointed if it doesn't do those infinite sort of repeats into death that BBDs do really, really well, which we all love. But it could be like it could be like
degradation.
that what's that module that the feedback guys did? The 1-bit multi-tapped delay, which is kind of the digital hybrid. It's a great module, that one. It is a version 2, so there obviously is a version 1 out there. It's 18 or 12 HP. Where did I see that? I saw it somewhere. 18 HP and €270 is the price. Who else wants to make comment about this one? Because we don't have that many products to show this week, so chat away.
Well, all I will say is if it is Gorgon,
yeah,
right? Gorgon is Greek for meaning grim or dreadful. No, it didn't sound dreadful, but so maybe if it is Gorgon, they've made a mistake and they should have called it something else.
No, I think it's because in Stranger Things they are using words or names like this. And I do want them. I do think they want us to compare it to the Strange Things in Stranger Things. Yeah.
Apparently, Gorgon was a. Sorry, go ahead, Henry.
Yeah. I also have a plugin, a reactor plugin, which has a name like this, and it does make some of the Stranger Things sounds. So I think it's intended that they use this name.
Right.
Yeah, and it is from Greek. Yes, I think it's intended that they mean that.
I think the Gorgon she had snakes coming out of her hair. That rings a bell.
I was just going to say, I think these sort of modules are probably going to start appearing more where you've got stereo out effects as well. I forgot to mention this does have a stereo out on it. I think in the last 5 years we've seen a bit of a surgence of stereo-based effects. Synths coming out, like the Moog. Was it the Grandmother, the first one that they did, or was it the Matriarch? I forget which one it was. I think it was the Grandmother, wasn't it? And then they have, effects pedals with stereo outs. And one of the first that ever did that was the MXR, the dual phase that they did. That was a great pedal back in the day. So, yeah, I think it's good. Can never complain about stuff that sounds awesome like that. I can see that.
It does sound good.
I can see that in my setup. I don't know about €270 though. That's a bit steep for me at the moment. Wow.
Well, some of these newer modules are getting wider, more HP.
18 HP, yeah. Well, it's got 3 things in it, so you kind of have to partition in your brain.
Yeah.
This is 3 modules in one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's less spaghetti, right? Less spaghetti hanging around your eurorack.
Less patch cables.
Yeah.
It's never a
Speaking
bad
of
thing.
patch cables,
That's what's nice about the 100s.
I'm used to that
100s.
anyway. So
speaking of patch cables, look what came in the mail. I only had to wait like 12
Are
months.
they the illuminated ring
These are the
ones?
illuminated ones from My Vaults.
Nice.
Do I have an overhead camera?
Nice.
I do. I have to turn it on. Nice. Come on, camera.
did they adjust those for the offset? Because in earlier light up cables were stealing some of your CV.
Oh, this
They'll do.
Making things.
this is probably stealing.
I bet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
It's nearly impossible.
It's more
not
efficient.
to.
They could get around that, but yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it's been to
better.
the coppers. That it had its interview. It asked for a lawyer. Anyway, right. That's it there. We have something else happening there. Extra share screen. Okay, cool. Sorry. Focus, you bugger.
Focus you.
So that is where the light is underneath that.
It's there. The screen I want to share. It's just not the main. If you look at it.
I'll get there. Hang on a sec. I'm trying to get this so that I can actually show this on camera, which might be actually.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. If I go to.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec, Henrik. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
What should we do? We can do this. We can do this, people! We have the ways and the means. I think it's this one. And I think I use the PTZ to move it. We'll zoom it in. Just give me a sec. I'm going to get the camera shot right. And then everyone will be happy. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? Hey? Coming out of Pam's. Look at that lovely little blinky light. And that just plugs into your module. And everyone is happy because they can see blinky lights. Darren, I think you'd love these things.
Oh god, I'd have loads of them. I'd wire the whole unit up just having blinking lights. But
Let me
not
see if I
actually
can
use
zoom
just
in. It actually looks
walking away in the
nicer when you plug it into your module.
I say
I
that
need
would do my head in.
No, it doesn't. Oh, it's not going to show. You're just not going to show, are you?
I thought the whole cable lit up. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I do actually.
There it is there. Plugged into a module.
Oh
You can see
no,
it.
no, no. I think there was something wrong with that. Especially if it's red.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, I got these. on a
Very
little-
handy.
I thought they were very handy.
Kickstarter.
Yeah. Now, let's go back to here. Cool. Henrik, do you want me to show you that shared screen or is that for something else?
You're muted, Hendrik.
Henrik's muted.
Oh, it was what Ian was talking about. So please show it if you can.
Okay. There. There. Now what?
It's not me you should enable. It's the other new user in, which is another share.
Okay, one sec.
Yeah.
1 second, people. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's because I'm logged in from
There
my
she
computer,
is.
then I appears twice.
Oh,
Yeah, Medusa, the Gorgon.
how do I get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Hey.
Oh,
That's
stop
Medusa,
that
yeah.
stupid thing. Oh my god. There we go.
Yeah.
There she is with a
Erica
skate's head.
Synths.
Skate's hair.
Eric.
Yeah.
And it was Erica Synths who did the Medusa, wasn't it?
Yes.
Erica? No.
Erica.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No, it was Polyend with Dreadbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One sec.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Dreadbox, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, it was a Poly and Seek meeting with Sound Source.
That's it.
Yeah.
There we go. I've got to be so much quicker on the buttons. It's like it's over here. I'm like, ah. It's not like I've got StreamYard in front of me.
This is where we find out it's not really called a Gorgon at all.
It's called a George 1 or something. Yeah.
It is called the Gorgon, but I also think it's connected to Medusa somehow. I don't know how. I haven't read that much, but I will do later.
I can get rid of that shared screen now, can't I?
Yeah.
Cool. Remove. There you go. That neatens everything up now. You guys are just a nice little square. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that lovely? Put that down the bottom. There we go. Right. Now, can we go to the next, please? Are we allowed to? Fantastic.
Yeah, go for it.
We had that. Let's go to this. Button. Hello. Should we do amps first, or should we do... I think we'll do Flurry first. Flurry? I think Flurry. Don't you?
Yeah,
it looks like a flurry.
Sounds right.
All right, why don't we do this first?
Hey, it's Dan from IntelliGel, and today I'd like to show you Flurry.
Flurry, there you go.
Starting at the top is my favorite section. This is the digital noise synthesis. There's 16 different algorithms split into 2 banks of 8. You advance through the noises by pressing this button here. You can see the colors changing. So let's patch and hear what they sound like.
Sounds noisy.
Each algorithm has one primary parameter that you can morph, but there's also a secondary one if you press and hold the noise type.
Just sampled the crap out of this, didn't we?
And to get to the second bank, press and hold the noise type and turn the attenuator. So to the right is bank 2, to the left is bank 1. So now we're into the second bank.
I'm home, don't
We've
you?
just spent $50,000 to get rid of that, and then we can buy a new record.
Oh, you could really piss off the PA people at EMON, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, IntelliGel. Where's the 90s mobile phone sound? Come on. It's got to be next, surely.
The symbol doesn't sound very symbol-like.
The dial-up modem sound.
Oh my god.
This last mode is called Rainbow Mode, and this allows you to select any of the 16 algorithms by turning the morph knob. Each of those algorithms, when you access it, it stays in the state that it was last edited to be. But if I land on any particular algorithm, if I want to adjust its main parameter, I can press and hold the noise type while I'm there.
So far, he's just been playing with one knob.
This mode is pretty fun to modulate. So let's plug in a sequence from Metropolis.
So it's pitch. Okay.
Ian's thinking, is this what modular's like?
Yeah. This is exactly what modular is like.
This is what you spend $20,000 on.
Next we have the pulse section, which has 2 different modes, clock and random. In clock mode, the pulse rate can vary from a period of 15 seconds to 2.5 kilohertz. In random mode, it varies from 0% probability to 100% probability. Let's patch this into the amps.
module, by the way, is called amps that we're going to look at. So you're looking at it now.
The on time of the gates can be adjusted by pressing and holding the noise type button and then turning the pulse rate knob. This puts it to their minimum, and that puts it to their maximum.
So it's a gate.
The pulse rate can be CV controlled, but there's also a control for run. This is a logic control and it's normal to 5 volts, which means it's always running. But if I patch a gate from a sequencer, or in this case, we'll take the gate from the FSR, we can manually control it. This allows us to get bursts of clock or bursts of random gates. Next, we have the sample and hold and track and hold section. The mode is...
All right, we're not going to go through 11 minutes, but I think we get the idea. That is basically the most action-packed noise module I've ever seen. I mean, yeah. Who disagrees? I mean, that's just about every single noise you'd ever want. And as I joked before, you probably spent money in the past trying to remove some of those noises from your mix. Who likes this? Anyone want to comment on this one?
Yeah,
Andy.
So I thought I had a nice noise module. I had the Quantum Rainbow, which has the white, pink, red, blue, and purple noise slots in it, and which is great. You know, obviously not just for noise source, but also sample and hold and other modulation stuff. But this thing's amazing. I mean, there's a lot of great useful stuff in there that you could easily make with a few modules here and there, like the drippy stuff I make with frequency shifters and some other stuff. But to kind of have it all dialed in, and then you can quickly, you know, change the gate and tweak it like that. It's not very big as well, which is always important. I put this on my list. I think it's great.
Mm. Some people in the chat think it's an April Fool's joke, this module.
How much is it?
That is a very good question. Very good question.
213.
279 euros.
What?
Okay.
And it's available.
Well, my
for
Quantum
pre-order
Rainbow
at the
was
moment.
150, so.
Yeah, 169 for the next module when you're asking how much the next module that I'm about to show is, which is called amps, which I showed before. This one. So we did see that in action in that video. If you're wondering what amps is, it's in contrast. It's a simple linear 2-channel VCA, which switches for controlling polarity, voltage range, and phase. I like having phase stuff. Phase stuff with 2 different audio inputs can make some really, really cool effects. And once again, this could potentially be a stereo module if you look at it in a different way. But I think, you know, based on what we're going to be talking about today on our show, we're talking about VCAs. That's kind of along the lines of topical. Anyway, so that, by the way, amps is just a pretty simple module. It's 169 euros. So why you would want that is purely for the phasing and the contrasting polarity stuff. So if that's up your alley with Eurorack, you want to start messing around with that sort of stuff with audio level. It's pretty good fun. I like mucking around with stuff like that. Once again, people have probably spent lots of money trying to fix things that are out of phase in the past, and here are IntelliGel bringing it to us in our modular gear. Wouldn't it be funny if you forgot that you had that patched in? Anyway.
Once again, you piss off the PA people. The bass isn't working. What happened to my bass pins? Oh, hang on. Sorry, guys.
Yes. And here we are, that making like 1919 mobile phone sounds. Jeez. Wow. But like I said, you could sample that stuff and you could use that in a kind of musical way. I don't know. I think Wagoo mentioned in the chat when we were playing the video, he'd like to see it in more of a musical sort of demonstration as opposed to the guy just sort of tweaking the knob, which he pretty much just literally just turned that morph knob. That's all he did. I mean, it's a digital module.
He basically said, "This is the bit I like," and then kind of got lost for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, I know, I understand, I sympathise. I've been there, but you kind of you're meant to edit your videos at some point in time, I think.
Oh, there's another.
They usually have the music part at the end, right? I mean, most of the videos I've seen, they do all kinds of nerdy, tweaky stuff, and then they put a music link at the end. So.
But most of these videos always feel like it's somebody trying to do, a lot of irrigation on a bloody field mouse.
Yes, that is true. I've suffered from that personally.
Lots of this going on.
Mm.
So, like, what do you do? What happened?
At the end of the video, Andy was saying that they usually show which button is it? This one. There's a bit more patched into it, and they muck around with it at the end of the video. You guys can go watch that at your own leisure. I think we've played enough of his video. Anyway, so you could be spending almost about 400 or 500 euros on just 2 modules here. Ooh, it's gonna be a bit nasty. It's really Eurorack starts in some degree to become quite an expensive venture. If you can't stop yourself.
Well, some people laughed. Some people laughed last week when I went to an EMOM in San Francisco and had 2 cases full of stuff, and I said, "That's about $7,000 worth of stuff right here."
It's true though. It is. Yeah. You cry. A little tear went down your eye when you said that, didn't it, Andy?
I did buy it over time. That helped. But if you did it all at once,
tears of joy.
Yeah.
And that wasn't including the case.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about VCAs now. I think we'll just have a little brief discussion about VCAs because I was kind of... Where are we? Do I have that camera happening? I do. Okay. Let's get this camera happening. I did have a couple of VCAs plumbed into the graphic you guys would have seen on the launch of the video for this week, right? Which is the Roland 530, which is a dual VCA. And there's a couple of little tricks in that pony as well that you probably may not, just by looking at it, may not be aware of. And then next to it is a terrible reproduction of an IntelliGel module called the 4Play by Behringer, which I did buy, by the way. They didn't give that one to me. But only because IntelliGels weren't available and I needed a 4-channel VCA. Why do we need VCAs, people? What is the reason for VCA's existence? It's pretty obvious. I kind of would like someone to answer that. No, I actually do know the answer, but yeah. But a lot of people don't realize the actual the obvious one is you need to make a sound out of your synth, so it has to go through a VCA. It's an amplifier, right? But the not so obvious thing is that you can use a VCA to do more than that. You can use it to shape the sound coming out. So you might have a continual sound coming out of your synth, but you don't want it to sound continually coming out. You might want it to just do things like that, right?
Amplitude variation, yeah.
And you do that with modulation. And in that particular Roland module, it has, you can see the sliders. They're your modulation potentiometers, and you can increase the control voltage. It might be an envelope generator that's going in there, or it might be an LFO, or it might just be you pressing on a keyboard with a CV control, or in a digital sense. But the other part of VCAs that a lot of people don't realize that you can use them for is you can use them for sort of some funky mixing and gain staging and all sorts of kind of weird distortion type effects. And you don't even need to go and buy the MXR M104 distortion pedal, because you could probably just use a VCA to do it if you know what you're doing. That 4Play, geez, that thing gets distorted if you put one into another.
Oh, right.
That is 4Play.
Yeah.
That tickled your 4Play, did it, Hendrik? Life becomes very distorted. It's got some interesting features. I mean, this is the IntelliGel module, so don't give any kudos to Behringer here. They've just copied it entirely. But it does have a boost on each channel, and then each channel can be CV controlled as well. So, and then it has its own mix and things like that. So, when we're talking about these topics, guys, we really shouldn't be just be skimming over things like VCAs, because, okay, yeah, they don't actually make the original sound, but they let us hear the sound, and the way that VCAs shape the sound is inherently important to a synthesizer and to a modular and to even a digital synth, right? It's really, really important that we acknowledge the actual benefits that VCAs give us. And yeah, actually, Kent is in the chat. He's just disappeared, but he could tell us lots of stories about different VCA circuits. It's pity he's just disappeared. But anyway, Chris, did you want to say something?
I was just going to say, drum sounds wouldn't happen without VCAs. You don't have rhythm without silence in between sounds, and it's the silence in between sounds is one aspect of why you need a VCA. I know you can kind of do the same thing with a filter, but it just doesn't sound the same as doing it with a VCA. Sometimes you want the VCA sound rather than the filter sound on a envelope of a sound where there's a transient portion, a sustained portion, and a decay portion. And it's just as human beings, we're kind of tuned into that kind of creation of sound or recognition of sound, probably because we hear it in the natural world. So that's what we hear, and we're kind of tuned to it. So again, music comes from us, and what our brains tell us is nice and entertaining and interesting. So it makes sense that, that's one of the things we need, is to have silence in between sounds and to have the sound's amplitude being modulated in quite fast, high transient ways. We can recognize all these subtle differences, and like attack portions, and you can have a really tight, a transient at the beginning of a sound, and on instrumentation or like an oscilloscope, you go, how could that possibly make such a difference? But our ears are kind of tuned to it, our brains are tuned to it.
Yeah.
So in terms of, it's important what you said, Ranzee. It is important that we don't glaze over this. That's kind of why, because our brains are super, super hardwired, I think, to detect that real subtlety in the volume amplitude of things.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
Absolutely. Have your 2 cents. I'm just going to pick a patch on this mini log here, right? And the only reason why I've got the mini log here is absolutely got nothing to do with the show today. I'm actually using it for something else, but I thought, hey, I'll just use this. And actually, brilliantly, mini log has a mixer section, which is also part of really what a VCA does, right, is the mixer side. Okay, so in this particular case, you've got 2 oscillators and you've got noise. So a mixer section is important for a synth too, in a sense, because without that, we can't control what's going in to the VCA or the filter in this particular case. We can't control what's going in a mix sense, not in an oscillator sense. I'm talking about what in a mixed sense. So in this particular case, if we go to a nit patch, let's go to a nit patch, and take off the effects. Sorry, that's Ableton making effects there.
Can you minimize?
Yes. I can do that.
Thanks.
Sorry. Effects.
He's sick of watching me.
Alright, I'm taking effects off. Here we go. There we go. So, in this particular case, there's no VCO2 until I bring it in, right? So there's no VCO2, there's no noise. Let's bring noise in. Let's bring VCO1 in. But let's bring out much louder noise, very little VCO, and with VCO2 let's make that deeper and bring that in, And now let's bring the noise out. Now that's me hitting the envelope generator there with this keyboard, right? Which is affecting the VCA. So if I start bringing it up the top here, I've got the amp EG. This now gives me and you can now I don't want the noise. Completely different synth. Now this is really, really basic stuff, but without the mixer, we aren't able to do some certain things with a VCA. Do you guys? That was really basic what I was just doing there, but it's pretty obvious, isn't it? But how important is it? And how many synths don't do it well? How many synths do it well? And some synths don't even have that. They basically just say, "Here's all the sounds into the VCA. You sort it out." Yeah. There you go. Have it.
Sorry, Henrik was tempting me with berries. I was just going to say, you made a good point about the mixer. The mixer doesn't exist without VCAs. It's like most people wouldn't even know that. I mean, you'd look at that and go, "Yeah, but it's just a mixer. It's just a knob. Like it's just a resistor, isn't it?" And you go, actually, no, that doesn't quite work." As Kent would be able to confirm, you need a VCA in order to properly mix signals. But you wouldn't know it. It's just on the top of your synth, your standard synth, it's got the knobs, and you think it just turns them up and down.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little bit more complex.
One important distinction is use exponential for audio and linear for like control voltage stuff. So,
well, yes, you can, but let's go
you
back
can mix
to
and match. But I mean, that's usually what they're for.
Oh, of course, yeah. But let's go back to the where's that photo got? Where's it gone? Is it this one? I've lost it now. Damn it! I pressed a button on my PDZ camera, and it's now moved. Now I'm going to have to move it back. Let me just move it back for you guys.
Fast return thing, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let's just move it down here and go across here and then go here, and then you can see it there.
Zoom in and enhance.
All right. So on the Roland 530, you guys can see that there is. Thanks for the segue, Mr. Andy. Linear and exponential.
Hey.
Which is one of the cool things about this. And not all VCAs have that either. Hey. So, Andy, you can tell us, what does that do? What's that little switch do to our ears?
Well, like for example, like you'd have to buy, like Deptford makes little VCA mixer thingies, and you have to buy a specific exponential or a specific linear one. They often don't have it mixed, so it's nice that you have it in the same box. But it's just the response curve, so you just your ears are tapered to exponential or logarithmic, tapering. So
I don't understand why it should be on the amplifier and not on the envelope. I think the amplifier should always be the same, so we know exactly what an amplifier does, and then envelopes could be different and bent and all that stuff. I don't think it should be on the amplifier.
It's a quirk of I was going to say, it's a quirk of synthesizer design that particular part of the circuit, whether it's exponential or linear, is in between your envelope and your amplifier, and it just depends on where you draw that line. And when they make modules, it's been different where they've drawn the line. So it is a quirk that the
and it's probably also inherited from when using potentiometers. There are linear and logarithmic potentiometers. Right, so people are used to, when turning up volume, it reacts like this.
Yeah.
Well, you could be right. I was going to say that it's to do with your envelope generator, but it's not, because your envelope generator also would, if you're lucky, like some of them don't, but they would also have the ability to do linear and exponential on them. So it's actually to do with the attenuator, the way the attenuator responds in that particular VCA. So if you use that, you'll definitely hear a difference between the two.
Well, it's a massive difference.
Yeah, I mean, usually the first thing we notice is one's louder than the other. That's usually the first thing, but that's not necessarily the truth, because it depends on where you are on your
on what time constants you're using.
Yeah,
on to what time constants you're using on your envelope.
Yep.
Like sometimes you know, exponential is great for getting an envelope where you want it to sound almost like it's a reverb or a decay.
Yep.
On the end of your sound. You can't really get that with linear. Sounds too smooth and
and if you've got percussive sounds, it's brilliant to have that on a VCA.
Great for percussion.
So that's probably why you should have it there. In fact, it's actually Henrik's right. It should be in other places first, but it also should be there, because then you've got now even more control over how you're shaping your sound. As you said before, Chris, that sort of the things that you can do with a filter, the things that you can do with an oscillator, aren't necessarily the same as the things that you can do with a VCA, and as our ears need.
But you say it should also be there. But what if you want to do the opposite curve instead of that curve?
You can use it. You can use an
then
inverse
it's
voltage
working against it.
Well, you can, if you want to. You can invert the voltage going into a VCA with CV.
Yeah, but then you have problems with your envelope generator, which may not send that out. I still don't understand why it should be on the amplifier, except for if it's inherited from old days with logarithmic potentiometers. How a volume control acts.
How a slider behaves. Yeah.
Behaves.
Yeah. It's just, like I said, it's just there. It's better than it not being there, if that makes sense. The fact that you've got it there means that you can use it, and some people will go, oh, I've switched it onto, oh, no, I don't like how that behaves. I'm going to switch it back, and I'll never use it again. It just depends on the person. But I can definitely tell you, if you go watch some videos on that Roland module, for example, the 530, there will be some videos that show you why that switch is there and the benefits that you get out of it. That's for sure. And other synths should have it, I think. It's not. It doesn't define how good a VCA is, though. Don't get me wrong. It's not like VCAs all must have linear and exponential switches. Then all of a sudden, like, you know, go back to the mini log. This synth is crap because it doesn't have it. Look, it's a crap synth. So yeah, it's a good thing that it's there. Not everyone has it. Is kind of what we're saying. Okay, favorite VCAs and why? This is a really hard question. I asked myself this question and I thought, what? How can I ask that? Then I thought a little bit longer and I thought, actually, yeah. And obviously I've come up with two, so I've done my bit. The 530 is my favorite VCA. Anyone got one?
One that works?
What about chatties?
I like Veils. Veils is nice.
Veils is I'm glad you brought that up because that was going to be my next suggestion. Yeah, tell us why you like Veils.
I've got Veils, so yeah.
Okay, you both can talk about
I like Veils because it has just the right amount of stuff. Some things don't have proper gate control. It's like on-off gate and not a potentiometer.
Yeah.
And I want to vary the gate.
Oh, yes.
And so there are plenty of VCAs that just are like, some VCAs don't even have a proper gate setup. Depends on which one you buy. There are a lot of variations out there. But Veils has a nice layout. It's not too big. The knobs are about the right size. I didn't even have to buy the knockoff. I have the actual mutable Veils, so it's very nice.
Yeah, they were relatively inexpensive too, weren't they? For those who are wondering what it looks like, there is the Veils module right there, and it's actually pretty handy.
I have the older one that's not the sliders.
Yeah, this one's got 4.
Yeah, I have the same as that one. Yeah, that's that one, don't you?
Hang on, wait. There.
Wait.
There you go. That's it.
You've got the knobby one.
There.
I understand why you've got that, Darren.
The other one.
You don't like sliders, you like knobs.
I know, it's knobs.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's all about the knobs.
But yeah.
Yeah, but
and the exponential and linear.
They actually do the same thing, right? Don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so why, other than the response curve, offsets, does it distort? Does that distort? Can you feed one into another? Let's go back to that photo again, because I actually never owned a Veils.
Haven't tried.
It does show. It kind of does show down the bottom with the little arrows that it's self-patched. So 1 goes to 2, goes to 3, goes to the mix.
Yeah,
right?
it does. I'm sure it's been a while since I've used it, but I'm sure I've patched 1 into 2 into 3.
Yeah. So you
I'm
could.
not
but
100%
isn't
on
it-
that. It's been a while.
So you could bring. You could cross. What do you call it? Force the connection by going into 1, and then out from 1 and into 2, and then you're gain
Yeah, but
staging
is-
your VCA, right?
Is a VCA actually an amplifier? I mean, it has a max level, and that is max. So everything you put in is either lower than that max level or at max. So if you connect that to the next one, you are not amplifying it. You are still having the max. Do you get what I mean?
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
It depends
yeah,
on how
yeah.
they've set it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, it could be inherently useless doing what I suggested.
Yeah.
It could be inherently useless. Like all you've done is just caused it to mix, and it's already doing that in its own wiring anyway. So yeah, you could be right. But some VCAs will distort because of the way they've been designed. Like you said, they haven't got the max headroom plugged into them, and they will just literally stack on top the amplitude, right?
Yeah, but if you put it into the next one, which again is limited to the same max, then you're only adjusting the level of between 0 and max. So you will never get it higher than max, because the next one
you won't get
can
it
only
higher,
go to max.
but you'll get it distorting. That's usually, or clipping.
Yeah.
That's usually the
So
the benefit.
you're reducing.
Yeah, each time you put it through something, you will distort it a bit, of course.
Yeah.
So you will distort it more and more.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's
Which
usually
is a
that's
form
usually
of
the,
loudness.
sorry, Chris, I cut you off. Go.
Sorry, it's a form of loudness, isn't it? Distortion.
Well, yeah.
Chopping off the tops of the waveforms. Sometimes
Yeah.
it is a technique.
You might say that,
some
Chris.
limiters. Oh, yes. Well, it is a technique in all seriousness. It is a technique in limiting
It is.
the
It
use
definitely- it
clipping
definitely is.
distortion.
Yeah.
We don't want to get into the loudness wars argument. I think that
No.
we've lost that battle, unfortunately.
No,
Thanks,
but
Metallica.
Henrik's right. Henrik's right.
No,
The VCA
yeah.
does limit what it's got its own minimum max, right? That's what it's got, because that's what an amplifier chip does. But when you're bringing one into another, what you're doing is you're staging that signal on top of it, and what it does is it just gets all muddy and distorted. That's the entire
No.
thing that you want it to do.
Because the next one, in fact, let's talk voltage instead. 0 to 5 volt. If you put the 5 volt into another one, the other one only adjusts between 0 and 5 volts. It doesn't add up. It don't only adjust between 0 and 5 volts. So the 5 volts you can adjust it to
we get
0
ya.
or to 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely get you.
So you're never going.
We're not saying louder. We're saying distorting.
No. Yeah, and another thing, the loudness war, the new Depeche Mode album is mastered very, very good. There's almost no loudness compression on it, so it's
Good.
That's very good. The production is terrible, but that's something else.
Really?
It is not.
Yeah.
Are you joking?
It is not.
It-
Actually,
Mic drop.
you know, you guys will all
Yeah.
have done this, right? You guys will have all done this. This is completely unrelated to VCOs, but this is related to the loudness war. If you're in your car and you've got Apple Music playing, through your Bluetooth connection in your car, or you've got Spotify or whatever, and then 1 minute you're listening to a fairly recent song, that's been recorded probably in the last 10 years or so, and the next minute you listen to something that was recorded in the 1970s. Like, let's say, "Shine On You Crazy Diamond" by Pink Floyd, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you're hitting the volume control knob on your car instantly.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, because it's about 3 or 4 decibels quieter.
I mean,
instantly.
certainly the Apple algorithm is meant to have something that equalizes that out, but it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. No,
because
it's too hard for it.
Maybe some other streaming services do, but certainly the Apple one, because I've got an Apple Music account.
Yeah,
and I do the same. I have to turn things up that are older. You know?
I put a track on my last album, a significant bit, called Infinitum, and it's deliberately uncompressed. It's got a bit of compression on it, but it's deliberately quiet in the mix. Like, so you know how a lot of people, they want to master every single track, so it kind of, they all sit at the same sort of volume all the way through from track 1 to track 14 or whatever. I deliberately made that track quieter on purpose, because that was the feel that I wanted that track to have. I wanted it to be a quiet, ambient track.
I mean, look at the dynamics that's involved in classical music. I mean, you go from really, really quiet parts to really, really enormously loud parts.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, dynamic range is good.
Yeah. So the VCAs do this?
Yeah.
I can.
All right. Who else wanted to suggest their favourite VCA? Vales was an excellent suggestion. I was actually hoping someone would suggest that. Anyone else? Is it in a synth? Maybe.
I don't have many VCAs. I have the Döpfer 8. I can't remember the number. It's 130 slash. 830/8. So it has 8 VCAs built in. I use it as a mixer. You can't see it. I use it as a mixer. I have 3 of them, so 2 of them are for 8 stereo channels to be mixed out, and 8 others are just for free VCAs to other things. So I use a Döpfer, and then I have VCAs in the filter mod amp from Behringer, the 2500 series, and I like that one. It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, it's nice. It has some soft feel. I like it.
Yeah,
really much. Yeah.
It's actually a really good suggestion, because I like that one too.
Yeah.
I don't have the Döpfer, but I mean the Döpfer and the 4-play are kind of similar sort of things. The IntelliGel 4 VCAs, and there's a few others. And you guys might remember, over the last couple of months, we've shown quite a lot of VCA-ish type modules on the show that have come out recently from lots of different companies. I can't just pick anyone off the top of my head, but I'm seeing a bit of a trend especially in Eurorack with synths, that they're playing with the VCA stuff a little bit more interestingly now. It's a kind of space. What are you showing us there? The Döpfer.
The Döpfer, yeah.
Nice. With all the plugs.
It's only a simple VCA. It's only input, output, and control.
Yeah, but
and
there's no attenuation on it, right?
No. And in the button you can take 1 to 4 out and 5 to 8 out, and all of them as a mix.
Cool. Beautiful. Yeah. So what are they doing in these? Why are they doing these kind of crazy? Like Vales was probably one of the not the first, but one of the sort of first crazy VCA modules that came out, I guess. What are they doing? Why are they sort of playing with VCAs now? What is it about VCAs that we need to pay attention to? When we traditionally we're thinking more about VCOs and filters, right? Aren't we? Why are we paying attention to VCAs now all of a sudden? There's a couple of obvious answers here, but I just want to see if you guys are picking up on it.
Are you referring to stereo field panning?
Yeah, he's straight onto it. Yep, I am. Yeah,
that's why it's handy, because now we can start. You start putting 2 you pack 2 VCAs on the end of your module, and you've just easily opened the door for panning of your module's output, which makes them immediately more interesting and appealing.
Yeah, and we showed that amps module before today too, didn't we?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Really sits in that space nicely, I think. Which just to refresh your memories, there it is. There, it's very basic, 149 US, probably a little pricey, but what it does, it's actually what it does that a lot of people probably glaze over with glass eyes. It's what it does. The phasing, the stereo sphere, the CV control of all that stuff.
Flipping the phase of one channel versus the other of a mono signal is a classic trick for creating a kind of cancelling out, unfortunately, but it is a trick used to create a intense kind of stereo effect.
Yeah.
Just doesn't translate well to being monoed, but it's a classic one. They used it in the Poly 800's digital delay.
Yeah. And Henrik, you've got the most of the 2500 modules now, haven't you? Have you got the oscillator?
No, I actually don't have most of them. I only have the filter, not the multi-filter, the other filter.
Okay.
And the envelopes, not the ones with the small version of the envelopes.
The one without the delay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I don't have many of them. They are actually 16 HPs wide.
Yeah, they're
so
fat. Yeah.
So I have more depth for filters and things like that, which is small. But I like those two modules, especially the filter. But I also like to get the multi-filter. But back to the amps. No, I've forgotten VCA. What?
VCAs.
VCA.
Stereo panning.
Yeah, but I forgot what I wanted to say. I talked about a lot of other things.
Put your hand up when you're ready. Put your hand up.
Yeah.
I was going to go to the chatties quickly. I do want to do price watch in a sec, so just going to quickly finish this off. In the chat, anyone want to suggest, and you may have done it earlier, I just didn't notice it because you didn't highlight my name. Anyone want to suggest a good VCA that they like for some reason? It might be because of all the controls that you get, it might be because of the way it sounds, it might be because of something that it does that might be a little funky on a synth. There you go, we've got one already. The Waldorf D VCA1. That's that eurorack module, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. If I go to modular grid, where's modular grid here? There. And go modules. And go Waldorf. Where's Waldorf? There. Let's see if it comes up. DVCA1. There it is. Look at that. See? It's good to have modular grid open. Here we go. There it is there. What's good about it? It's a dual VCA module built around 2 VCAs. The ability to musically color the signal starting with dry mode. You get high precision analog amplification. What is good about it? The optional color control is based on a state variable filter technology. So that's interesting. When you add warmer and more colorful timbre to the signal based on a finely crafted state variable filter circuit and simultaneous linear and exponential control, as well as specialized AC and DC coupled inputs. There you go, Henrik. It's got exponential and linear controls on this VCA as well. Probably because it's got that state variable filter in it. Okay, so what makes that, Henrik? What makes that, sorry, not Henrik, Wagoo, what makes that cool? What makes that cool? I mean, obviously, we've just read it out, but what does that mean? That's just words, right? What does that mean? What does it do? What does the color thing do that's in the middle of that? Let's just show that again. Actually, I think I can click on that. It should. There you go. You guys can see it better now. Yeah. See the color thing in the middle? It's a very nice looking VCA. Takes up a lot of HP though. 20 HP. Wow, that's a big sucker. Don't know if you can still get them anymore. Mainly the coloration stuff. It's a nice sounding VCA. There you go. That's a good reason. There's nothing wrong with that explanation. That's a great explanation. Just likes the sound of it. I'd just be really interested to know what that color thing does. I mean, state variable filters are a different beast, right? Hang on, Henrik's showing something here. How am I going to get this up? Just keep your hand there until it drops off. There we go.
But I didn't want to interrupt what you did, what you're talking about now. So let's take it later.
Okay, so just keep your hand there for half an hour then. That's fine.
Post it. Stick it to your forehead like a post-it note.
Yeah.
There's a fun thing on the Buffaco hex mix kind of ecosystem that I've expanded to a certain extent, but so there's the hex mix, the hex expander to add all the sends and returns and extra goodies. They even have a VCA module you can add to it, so you can have more automated control and extra goodies. But I already donated enough space to the 2 other giant modules that I didn't add that yet. But it's a cool idea if you want to add more stuff to your traditional mixer setup. They thought about that as well. There's a little thing in the back that plugs into it.
It's the Hex Mix VCA. That's what it is, isn't it, that you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think
I've
it's
checked the stuff out before.
4-part. Yeah.
6.
Is it 6?
6
okay.
suckers, yeah.
Yeah,
there
nice.
You go.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't have space for it now, but it's a cool idea though.
Adding VCAs to your mixer, what does that do? Other than
that's the thing with the auto panning and all the extra kind of goodies you can do. So it's fun.
So is it basically just giving you? Is it basically just giving you extra inputs and then the panning controls and then the obvious, the attenuation controls? Shaping.
Because it actually has the back of the hex mix has several little ribbon cable connectors, and one is the hexpander, one is the VCA. I think there's the third one as well. So they thought about all this stuff when they built it. Expansion.
Don't you think it's funny though that some of these VCA things that we're talking about tend to sort of hover around the eurorack / modular synth world, and not so much, which is not true because I can give you some examples where this is not true, but generally speaking, it doesn't really hang around the standard sort of synthesizers that you see, because they generally have just pretty basic VCAs, don't they?
I mean, that was my thought. My question was: is this more of an issue because you can change, VCAs out in modular, which is something that we can't do when we've got a hardware synth? I'll be honest with you, and it's a good topic. I hadn't thought about it that much until today, if I'm honest. Because all of the stuff that I've got, they've either got a mixer or they've got a VCA of some sort built into the synth, and I don't think about it that much,
Yeah. I think the other point of it is if you have a sort of digital synth with those modulation matrix type things, they can sometimes give you some funky VCA type features that an analog, standard analog synth, like this mini log here doesn't have anything really groundbreaking in it apart from the mixer section, which is useful.
It's got a good game.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Wagoo reckons he's got some VCAs that he doesn't like. The one in the mixing section of the Moog one.
Yeah.
Why is that? What's it doing? Is it just not mixing properly, or is it distorting, or what's it doing? Why don't you like it? DeepMind 12 says half god, half beast.
Mr. Biscuit.
Yeah. Okay. He's answered very quickly. They overdrive into hollow fizz.
Hollow
okay.
Fuzz. Fizz. Not
Hollow.
That could be
means loss of bass.
That could be. I don't know. Think of the 303 story, right? When they originally brought those out, they were not meant to be an acid bass machine that we all know and love now, and they definitely didn't have a distortion or an overdrive effects in them, and that's generally how we use them now. So I don't know. I haven't heard that on the Moog one. It probably sounds horrible, which is probably why most people don't like it, but maybe that might be a thing that someone picks up and works, some real magic with, I don't know, you just don't know with synths. People can discover stuff in synths that, we all gloss over very quickly because it generally doesn't look good. One day, someone is going to find something good in that Timberwolf. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Well, Kent's
crossing
mod.
my fingers.
He's working on a mod for it.
Yeah,
I
Kent's
know.
mod. That's the only way.
It needs a mod. Okay, let's get on to the third and final segment for today, which is... Oh, hang on, no. Henrik's holding his hand up.
Can you reverse? Oh,
We'll just do the stinger, and then we'll go to Henrik.
Yeah.
Henrik's holding his finger up.
It was about the Spond, and Dr. Synth has it. He says, Dr. Synth, isn't that Manny? I can't remember.
What is a Spond?
Yeah, it's money.
The Spond is a VCA too, and they sell it as a mixer, but it is a VCA, 6-channel VCA, and of course you can use a VCA as a mixer. It's very good. It's big, and I have only one complaint about it, and that's when you set the levels, it's very difficult to be precise. So if you use it as a mixer and want something to be in the middle, if you have a left and a right channel and want it to be in the middle, and you have to set 2 sliders equally, it's very difficult to hit it right. So I'm not using it anymore. I use the Döpfers and then control them with the Polyend preset, which remember 9 channels of VC, and that's much easier to be precise. Okay, it's only in steps of up to 16, so it's not gliding. You can do it other ways.
You can put your hand down now.
When using it as presets, it's only like that. Well,
so is that because it's initially intended to be a mixer and it's exponential, so it's harder to nail it?
I don't know. I really don't know, and I actually don't know if it's possible to change between exponential. I can't say it. I don't know if it's
It doesn't
possible.
actually say that in here, but what it does say is that it has... So, and this is something that we forgot to mention, which is the 3 lows that we may want to talk about with VCAs, and that's low distortion, low noise, and low feed through, or bleed is another name for it. It's important, especially if you've got multiple VCAs. In this case, there's 6, right? And it's 2 times 6, so it's actually 12, really.
Yeah, it's 2 times 6.
Yeah. Volume sliders with a gain of 2. What does that mean?
Yeah, actually it is 6, but you can split it out. It's 6 inputs to 6 outputs and a mix output.
Yep.
And yeah.
So with the arrows, I'm saying their inputs going in to the sockets, and with the arrows pointing away from the sockets, their outputs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So where is the... So the attenuators is basically for the levels. So how is this? How is this acting like a VCA? Because I can't see any modulation control in this.
It's the inputs in the bottom. I'm sure it's the only inputs on the left and on the right.
Yeah.
Are CV and audio inputs.
The bottom.
And
Down the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see it. Yep.
But I'm not. No, the button is output. So it looks like.
Could be. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. What's that
I
little?
think it
sort
is
of,
controllable.
What's that little? that's a mix out.
There's audio CV at the left-hand side.
That's a mix out. That's
There's
the
audio
bottom thing.
/CV. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm confused by that one. Yeah. Anyway, you can put your hand
Yeah. So am I now.
That's all right. It's just a cool looking module. All right.
Yeah, it was, but it was difficult to be precise. That's why I'm not using it anymore. But I liked it when it was in, when it didn't have to be precise.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've got a VCA matrix module, which is pretty handy. So they are something also that are pretty cool. And VCA matrices are where you've got inputs and the VCA can do its thing with modulation, and then it's got outputs, and then it's also got, in this particular one, it's like a prototype that I've got, that it can also take sends and returns into a VCA, which is a really interesting concept. So it's basically, it's using the concept of a mixer, but applying that to a VCA, and so that way you can actually modulate things like the way the returns work, which is a cool thing. You might want to play with the level of the return in a modulating way, an LFO, turning up and down, or maybe gating it as an on-off signal. So there's things that people don't think about that you could do, which I think is probably what that spondle does, right?
Yeah, and I think on the right, those inputs are for controlling, because it's only 6 channels. No, I'm not sure.
2 times 6 channels.
Yeah.
It's an A and a B. So I think it's 2 independent 6 channels. All right, let's go to Price Watch, because not that one, this one. We do need to get through this. Price Watch, everybody. So like Kermit the Frog there. Yeah. This is a live auction. 1,852 Australian smackaroonies, if you want to buy this. And Xils-labs. Don't these look like a funky looking thing, hey? Let's go to the live auction. I really like the look of these. Let's click on that so we can get a better view.
Very 80s.
Isn't that 80s? It looks like something from Battlestar Galactica. You know?
Yeah.
By your command.
See the cartridge in it. Fantastic.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful? You wouldn't want to drop it though. There'd be little cracks everywhere. Good old 80s plastic.
It's probably thick plastic though.
Yeah.
It's probably light as. Look at all look at all those little. Just reminds me of the Korg Poly 800. Oh, don't forget.
And the deal with 6,000 and 8,000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at the back of that thing. Did they find? Hang on. Wait. Back the truck up. Where is this synth? Is this synth? Is there a used tire there? Let's take the photos out in the trash yard where we found the synth. It's like when you know those TV series where they go and buy those storage units and they pull it all out and they work out what they've
storage walls.
Yeah, storage walls.
Yeah,
they're just taking the photo straight out the back of the storage unit here.
Maybe I can sell this.
Yeah, I'm gonna whack this up on Reverb for a few bucks and see what I can get for it.
Moly. It's a massive brick.
Now that's a brick, yeah.
Have we got sound?
That's like the brick I have for my Arabic keyboard that has the 220 volt power supply.
Yeah.
Telling me, Dream.
That's what I think about that one. $1,800. Yes.
Yeah, right.
What happened to me?
Does anybody know what it sounds like?
SH.
Like an organ. That was how Seal sounded. I remember.
Is it really?
SH
like
and
organ
then
string
other
machine.
letters.
It was in the category we went past when we were looking for synthesizers at that time. It may have been popular in Italy and Southern Europe, but it was not popular in Northern Europe. It was not a synthesizer. It was an organ company to us.
Right.
Now this one's for Mr. Synthetic, because I know he likes his Waldorf microwaves.
Yes.
He loves them very much.
I like the minor issues part. Works, but has minor issues.
Yeah. Don't look here. Look here. Don't walk to the minor issue part.
Don't switch it on. It's all right. Just don't switch it on.
What a lovely coloured synthesizer this is, people. Don't you think? Don't you think? Like a can.
Well, it's funny they chose to make the keyboard a certain color of orange, and the rack a darker orange. It's kind of weird.
It is weird, isn't it? Well, at least it's not that faded sun color that we get from the bromide issue with plastics. This one, they've just given it to us 30 years in advance. It's amazing. I just don't think the wood sides work with orange. It just doesn't work. It just reminds me of 1970s lounges, right? Do you guys remember those 1970s lounges?
Yeah.
Burnt orange.
They're probably probably everywhere in the Waldorf headquarters. I will make synthesizer look like my favorite lounge, and everyone would be happy. That wasn't actually too bad, that price, by the way. 3,000
minor has
Australian dollars,
issues.
1,500.
That's the
Minor issues.
Yeah, what's the issues?
Is this the one that Kent said was when they go, they're gone forever? When something goes wrong with them.
Instrument knob is loose, and it's missing some knob keycaps. Everything works, including loose instrument knob. That's the minor issues.
Right, okay.
So it
happens to some of their stuff. I have a Waldorf 4-pole filter, which is super rare, and it's the pots are wiggly as hell. Still works, but yes.
This one's for.
It's
this
like
next one's
it's like
for
the
Darren.
Blofeld, and it's like the Blofeld encoders.
Oh god, yeah.
They are terrible.
Yeah.
Quasi Me wanted to get serious, so they brought out the Sirius.
I remember one of them. Yeah.
It's a pretty serious synth, this one.
It's just a Revolution 309 and a keyboard. So
I'm going to keep trying to milk the serious joke and try and get someone to laugh about it. Right.
Don't give up, Hans.
Yeah, I'll never give up. Someone's going to laugh. Someone on the replay will laugh, trust me.
Yeah.
They'll laugh in silence with me. Yeah, isn't this a wonderful thing? Darren, are you jealous you didn't get one of these?
Yeah. And it was a big blue one instead.
Yeah, with sarcasm. £1,000 for that one, people. Fantastic. Okay. What else did I find in the depths?
You actually did a bad gear episode on it.
How much is the Raven worth? If that's worth
Florian did one, yeah. Has anyone seen one of these suckers before? Someone has modded a Juno, called it the Junior 106, and have given it a kind of cool paint job. And yes, once again, it's a live auction. Hooray! I love live auctions.
I've seen the color mods, but not a shortened one. That's funny.
So what is this, 37 case? Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow, they've gone to a lot of effort with this, haven't they?
Looks like a timbre wolf.
Looks like a terrible wolf.
Oh god, are those rivets in the front? No,
they're screws. They've just painted them.
Painted them, yeah.
So this looks like it might be one of those nylon overlay type jobbers, I think. Like it's like a sticker. You know, you've just print the thing out and stick it over the top. Yeah, that's the sticker.
Yeah, it's a sticker. Yep, you can see the fuzziness.
Yep. All right, so you can buy that for 5,800 smackaroonies. That is the official name of the currency here in Australia, smackaroonies.
Smackaroos.
Smackaroos. But if you didn't like that, if you thought, I don't want a polyphonic, I want a monophonic, you can get yourself, and this one's for you, Darren, an SH-101.
Yeah. Benek.
Blimenek. And it's also live as well. You can buy it right now. Here, one day I'm actually going to click buy it now in front of everyone and just make them all gasp. That one day is the day that I own a Lamborghini too at the front. Anyway, we are going to look at some photos of the SH-101. Doesn't this look interesting in this color scheme? I don't mind it. I'll be honest. I
actually quite like that color scheme.
No, I don't mind it.
Kind of reminds me of my JDXI.
I don't know. I know how the Commodore 64 looks today. I'm not sure that will look good in some years.
We just rip off the sticker and put a new one on.
It's got MIDI. Look at that. An SH-101 with MIDI. Hey, winning. No thanks. Especially for $4,600. No, thank you at all. Thank you, sir. What was your favourite auction for today from Price Watch? None of them were scammy, I don't think. They're all pretty normal. Junior 106, White SH-101, Quasi MIDI, Waldorf, the orange Waldorf, isn't it lovely? Or the Battlestar Galactica Seal DK80.
My heart says yes for that one, but my mind says the Waldorf.
I say none of them. I would rather like something new, which I don't have to repair.
It goes without saying, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So you don't want to have a little 80s nightmare in your studio? Is that what you're saying?
No, I actually get one pretty soon. I have to repair for a friend. It's I I can't remember what it's called, but it's one of those Italian things from the mid '80s.
Okay.
Very sought after, but not by me.
Jen.
Could be.
Try to mention some.
Krumar Spirit, is it?
No. Why can't I remember?
I'm showing.
I can look it up.
I'm showing the chatties
get back to
it. This show is actually doing so well at the moment. There's probably about 20 people watching it. Okay, so in the chat, what are you going to go click by it now on out of those? Was it 5 things? Yeah. Seal DK80, Waldorf microwave, Quasi-MIDI, Sirius if you're into Sirius synths, the Junior 106 or the SH101. Someone did laugh at it, but I feel like it was forced. I felt it was.
Sorry.
There's a laugh track.
That was a pull.
Yeah. It was out of sympathy.
It was a sympathy laugh. Yes.
Yeah, 39. Yes, brilliant. Someone felt sympathy, so they decided to start watching. Anyway, there we go. Price watch for the week. So we had a few. Yes. I don't know if I'd be interested in any of those, to be honest. But I thought they were interesting to show you guys. So shoot me if you don't like it. And that is the lovely thin sound of the Korg Minilog. Everyone says, "What is define thin?" There.
That's thin. Yeah.
That's thin.
And depending on what earphones you listen to, it could be even thinner than that.
Yeah. And it's definitely not anything
I get
to
some
do
fat patches out of it, but yeah, it can be thin.
Oh, you can definitely get some fat.
Yeah.
By the way, that was a knit program, if you're wondering. That's why it was thin. Yeah, like this.
There you go.
There you go. That's not thin anymore, is it? Anyway, VCAs, hopefully someone sort of fell in love with their VCAs again this week because we started talking about them, gave them some love. I felt that they were like the little nerd in the corner that got, left at the dance, and no one cared about them. And all of a sudden now everyone's looking at their synths going, "Oh yeah,
I will look at mine.
Yeah, that's right, those things."
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't start using my veils until I wanted to recreate how an actual normal keyboard synth works in my modular with the proper cutoffs so the note doesn't drift on forever. You get the nice gate cut off and stuff. And that's still kind of mainly what I use it for. I do other stuff with it too, but
what are you showing there, Chris?
Just a simple utilitarian thing.
What are you doing, Chris? Chris, what are you doing?
That's it.
I'd like to enter the competition with the world's smallest VCA.
Yeah, the Pico. Is that a 2 HP? Yes,
that's. I didn't have a chance to say what my favourite VCA was because I've been remiss in having VCAs in my system, so I thought it appropriate to say this is my favourite VCA because it takes up absolutely FA space.
Takes up 2 HP space. Sure it does. Yeah, 2 HP makes some good modules. The only thing wrong with 2 HP, the only thing with 2 HP modules is sometimes they are very deep. What are you showing us there, Henrik? What are you doing?
It's the thing I have to repair.
Ooh, the Sultan?
Oh, right. It's,
actually, I don't like things
I've never ever
that are
heard
so
of that.
old that they need all that repairing. So
Sultan.
I know it's very sought after, but to me it's just a casual thing.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of them before.
I can find a video and post on Ranzee's Discord.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of Ranzee's Discord, I never give it a plug, do I? Ranzee's Discord? No. It's it's brilliant. What can I say? There it is there. bit.ly/Ranzee Discord. Get on there. Or don't. In your face, buggers.
See if we care.
Yeah. We don't care.
See if we care.
Only the cool kids hang out there. Anyway, let's put you guys back to normal there. What was I going to say? I was going to say something about next week. Suggest a topic because I mean we could talk about black and white keys on a keyboard. We could talk about the MIDI connections on the back.
Advanced.
We could get really exciting.
Start with the black keys and the week after take the one.
Yeah.
Start with the white key.
And ribbon controls.
Start off easy.
Start with the power cable at the back. Darren, did you want to ask a question about the Akai Force? Because I know you were interested in it.
I asked you that before we went online. Before we went on air, actually. The last question.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can come up with some more questions or topics on where you get your inspiration from and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good topic.
We've done that before, but it's been a while since we've done that. So
And about the
it's been a while,
Force.
I thought, for an update.
Yeah, and about the Force, I was going to make an April's Fool, but I didn't have the time for it. I wanted to Photoshop an Akai Force to make it twice as big, twice as wide, and then I would call it the Akai Farce. But I didn't have the time. So.
I've just pressed something on my Akai Force and I can't stop it now. There we go.
I can't make it next week, so it will be you who do the show alone. But you have tried it before.
No, he's actually not kidding at all. If Henrik wasn't on the show, there would be 0 viewers. So it's actually him that brings all the sexy ladies to the show.
We need to get Robin Vincent on then, don't we? Up the subscriber count.
We need some talent, please.
I think I know why my subscriber count grew so much. I think it's because I didn't put myself on the thumbnail. I only put my guests on.
That helps.
No. What you were doing is you were just trying to you just couldn't grasp the fact that you actually were in the senior. You just didn't want to be senior anymore. That's what it was. And that's why you didn't see me on that show.
But what comes after senior? So I stayed there.
I'm not going to admit it.
I saw the thumbnail and thought I'm not joining that.
I'm not admitting it. I still think I'm 16 in my brain. I still act like a 16-year-old. You guys know that.
Oh, that may come back.
Yeah.
That you act like a 16 years old.
Diapers may come back too a bit later on.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, we've got all this to look forward to, people. Isn't it amazing? So happy. Things to stop working and lots of doctor visits.
And all the girls we can catch on the old home.
Look, we can just be obliviously unaware of any of that, and we just play with our synths, and then one day the wife walks in and I'm dead on the floor. I'll be happy. I don't care. I'm dead.
One hand on your heart, the other one on the keyboard.
Yeah. Get that as a meme.
I did say to Jane once that if I shuffle off this mortal coil, what synths would she keep? And she said, I'll sell all of it apart from apparently the instrument.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
She has taste.
I don't even bother asking that question
because
you don't care because you're dead. Who cares?
No, exactly.
Who cares what people buy? Yeah. You're dead.
Yeah, you can't be angry.
You can't get angry. You can't get revenge. Nothing.
Patch just as it happened.
No. Yeah. Just
even if you forget to save that last project, doesn't matter. You're dead. And on that amazing note of positivity, I think we should end the show. Thanks everyone for being part of it.
On my latest album, Why Do Anything?
Exactly.
Oh yes. I have a new album arriving Friday. I have to upload it to Bandcamp, of course. I forgot that.
I
just remember.
But
it's on all other platforms on Friday.
Okay. So check out JX3D's album on Friday.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Worlds Apart. That's the title of it. It's good. One of the better.
Good. Looking forward to it. I generally enjoy your work, so it'll be nice. I actually haven't even listened to the Depeche Mode album yet. Kill me, but I've been busy. haven't had a chance.
I didn't know it was out.
I'm beginning to be tired of it. So.
Well, the problem with me is I tend to sort of be very picky about new music these days, and
Me too.
And it's not because I'm not open-minded to listen to new music, but when you listen to an artist that's been doing stuff for a long time, you kind of have an expectation with them, and they know that. They absolutely know that. If you were to ever interview them, they would be like, yeah, we're trying to produce something new. And then generally when they do that, maybe that's not the right idea. Maybe they should just do what's tried and tested, because that's probably what most of their fans want.
Yeah, I think about Depeche Mode, the new album, they are trying to do something more rock-like. They are moving a bit away from the synthesizers, so the synthesizers are just muddy in the mix.
Like Ultra.
No, not like Ultra, like Spirit. It's the same producer.
Okay.
And I think the mix is muddy, the reverbs are muddy, and I don't think the sound is good. It's only the mastering which is perfect. There's almost no difference between the vinyl and the streaming. If you compare those two, it's not compressed, and that's the first time I hear that on a newer release. So
I mean, I'm always looking for
like
new music. Electronic Sound here in the UK is a good place, but also for those abroad, Music Works from Canada.
I've never heard of that. Show that again.
Yeah, it's Music Works from Canada. It literally covers all genres. It's not about electronics. It's about just different types of music. Comes out about 4 times a year. You get a CD with it as well, so it's old school.
Oh my God, what's that thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Coaster.
It literally turned up. It literally turned up this morning. I played it twice. Thought this is pretty good. No, what they do actually in every January they have a competition for not only music but for do video art and things like that. And you can, I think, to enter is about $25 Canadian dollars, something like that. But what you get is you get a year's subscription to the magazine as well. So that's the way I tend to do it. I'll do the competition, and then I've got a whole year's subscription. It's good, and it's quite nice. Like I say, it comes every once a quarter. It's nice though.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. So the next show is episode 199. So we can do something on that, and then obviously the episode after this, our 200th show. And some people seem to think that that's important. So I don't know. We only just celebrated our 4th birthday. So I really don't know what we can do on the 200th show. But anyway, yeah.
Easter. It's Easter next weekend as well.
Have a really nice April Fool's Day for those guys who have been fooled by some of the press announcements. One thing, parting word I want to say before we hang up the show is Roland seemed to want to take over the entire calendar and own a month a day every month, and so they just keep bringing out synths with 404 or 303 or 707. Do you see what they're doing? And just so they can go, it's 707 day, it's 404 day. Look at us, aren't we awesome? Look at us, how we don't do analog anymore. Anyway, I will. Quick.
May I say something before we end?
Quick.
I just watched the Sparks documentary on Netflix. Watch it if you haven't seen it. It's great, and some of the artists we all like are talking about them. It's a very good thing to watch. Do it. Sparks.
Okay. Sparks.
Thanks, Henrik. I
There we go.
didn't know it was on Netflix. Great.
Anyway,
thanks.
One more quick thing. I'm going to do a studio tour for Clownfest this weekend if I get off my ass. And if you guys want to see gear porn, look for that on the Clownfest stream.
Yeah.
Don't forget, NAMM is in a couple of weeks' time as well. So I think they're talking about the 14th of April. Is that right? I think
14th.
So that's coming up very soon. So
We'll
expect some
carpet
gear.
watch, Andy.
Expect some gear coming
carpet
out.
watch
there,
again.
yes.
It's pretty much next week is the 7 days before release is usually the embargo that most manufacturers have to actually tell the world officially that they're going to be releasing a product. So expect stuff to be leaked within the next 7 days, I would say. That's what I would say. Anyway, we should press this button to say goodbye. Bye.
No worries. Yeah,
Bye,
see you,
everybody.
everyone.
Take care.
Let's go. Till next time. Sorry. My kick drum's better than your kick drum.